بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيد المرسلين وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين ثم أما بعد. Inshallah, we will begin the Ramadan daily reminders. This will be day number 28, and we are going to begin the last section on the subject of salvation. The subject of salvation is based on Surah Al-Asr. وَالْعَصْرِ إِنَّ الْإِنسَانَ لَفِي خُسْرٍ بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إِنَّ الْإِنسَانَ لَفِي خُسْرٍ إِلَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالْحَقِّ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالصَّبْرِ. By the fleeting time, man is at loss, except those who believe, do good righteous deeds, enjoin one another to the truth, and enjoin one another to patience and perseverance. We've discussed in the beginning of those daily reminders certain sections from the Qur'an that are in regards to the whole entire surah. And for example, in Ayatul Bir, we talked about the comprehensive understanding of this concept of salvation. And you find in that and in the section of Surah Luqman and in the section of Surah Fussilat, there is some element of patience mentioned there. So for example, وَالصَّابِرِينَ فِي الْبَأْسَاءِ وَالضَّرَّاءِ وَحِينَ الْبَأْسِ. This is a great ayah to talk about all forms of sabr, which is what I will be talking about. Now, لَيْسَ الْبِرَّ أَن تُوَلُّوا وُجُوهَكُمْ قِبَلَ الْمَشْرِقِ وَالْمَغْرِبِ. We already studied that. And among the things that are mentioned in this great ayah, Ayatul Bir, is those righteous people who are steadfast, who are patient during times of difficulties, hardship, during times of adversities, and during time of war, conflict. So sabr has various kinds. There's sabr, for example, ala ta'a. There's sabr an al-ma'siyah. There's sabr ala al-bala. And then finally sabr in the struggle in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So sabr ala ta'a, what does that mean? I, as a believer, first of all, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made it very clear in Surah Al-Ankabut in the very beginning to all humanity. He made it very clear that all of us will be tried and tested by Allah. Alif Lam Mim. أَحَسِبَ النَّاسُ أَن يُتْرَكُوا أَن يَقُولُوا آمَنَّا وَهُمْ لَا يُفْتَنُونَ وَلَقَدْ فَتَنَّا الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِهِمْ فَلَيَعْلَمَنَّ اللَّهُ الَّذِينَ كَذَبُوا وَلَيَعْلَمَنَّ الصَّادِقِينَ. Allah said, do people just on the basis of saying, I believe, by their tongue, that we're not going to try them and test them? Nay, indeed, we tested those who came before them, so we may know those who are truthful from those who are lying. So this is the sunnah of Allah, the way of Allah. Once you say you are a believer, you are to be tested. Allah tests all people, but particularly the mu'min. The mu'min will have to go through many trials and tribulations to prove to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that he really believes in him, in his qadr, in everything that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had decreed for him and for everybody else. So sabr ala ta'a, the first type of patience is to be patient on obeying the commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's not easy to obey Allah. You have to be patient. It's simple to say, I am a Muslim and brag about you being a Muslim, but then on the other hand, you disobey Allah. Why? Because of your human weaknesses. You are unable to carry out a command or whatever the case may be. Or you are impatient and you can't take it. For example, we have to pray. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, O believers, aqimus salah. You have to pray. There will be times, maybe in some places in the world, they don't have the warm water we have here. and they have to get up early in the morning to pray Fajr, and it's very cold outside, and all they have is cold water to make wudu with. They have to be patient. This is patience ala ta'a, sabr ala ta'a. You have to take it, you have to endure it. Fasting, going through long hours of fasting, like the fast we are doing now, more than 17 hours of no food and no drink during, the June, July type of, days in the year. Those are long hours. How can you sustain yourself without food and drink? So you are patient. You go through this hunger, through those, pangs of hunger patiently. You endure it. Why? Because you want to obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Those are commands that Allah had commanded us to fulfill, and as true believers, we understand they are difficult, so we have to be patient. And through patience, inshallah, we will overcome all obstacles, absolutely all obstacles. Patience is a virtue, as they say. This is a very famous adage. Patience is a virtue. Indeed, it is a virtue. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made it 1/4 of the qualification or qualifications to success in the hereafter. وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالصَّبْرِ. And we have to help one another to patience. Oh brother, it's okay. It will be better. Ease will come after this difficulty. We have to be patient. We have to obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is sabr ala ta'a. There is another form of sabr, the opposite to that, which would be sabr anil ma'siyah. I have to be patient against all sins that I am inclined to do. We're humans, and we have our shahawat, we have our desires, and we are attracted to so many things. And I have to be patient against whatever sin that my nafs says do. If I see a beautiful woman and I'm inclined toward her, and I can't wait to fulfill my sexual desire, I have to be patient. I can't do this. Why? Because if I do anything with that girl, it's zina, it is fornication, it is adultery, it is haram. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we studied, said, وَلَا تَقْرَبُوا الزِّنَا. So how am I going to go about, about obeying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and staying from this great sin? By being patient. By being patient. And there are other ways to, from that particular sin, وَالْعِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ. But it could apply to anything. Your nafs wants something, but then Allah said, no, you don't do that. Okay, you have to endure it. You have to persevere and be patient, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will help you. This is why Allah said it's not easy. Do you think just because you are a believer is not going to test you? These are the tests and trials. And then you have test or sabr ala al-bala. When you are tested with some calamity, something, some illness within you or some member of the family, what do? You complain and you say, why me? Why this happened? Why that happened? No, we can't do that. We have to be patient until Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala takes away that difficulty or the whatever adversity we are going through. And that's why Allah in Ayatul Bir explained, وَالصَّابِرِينَ فِي الْبَأْسَاءِ وَالضَّرَّاءِ وَحِينَ الْبَأْسِ. This is a quality of the righteous. The ayah ends with وَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْمُتَّقُونَ. Those are the righteous ones, those who are patient in time of ba'sa. What is ba'sa? When you are inflicted with some illness or disease or death in your family or shortage of wealth, all of these things, you have to endure it. You have to be patient until Allah find a way out for you. And similarly, fi dharra, it could be natural disasters, something happened, some earthquake, some flood, something that was an act of God. So what do? We have to be patient. وَالصَّابِرِينَ فِي الْبَأْسَاءِ وَالضَّرَّاءِ وَحِينَ الْبَأْسِ. And also in time of conflict. If you have to go to war to defend your Lord, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and you have to stand up for Allah and His deen, and you have to give up your life, you have to go through those trials, and you have to be patient also. And inshallah we'll take some examples later on. But I want to share with you those ayat from Surah Al-Baqarah, ayah number 142, I believe it begins with, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu ista'inu bis-sabri was-salah. This is very important, ayah, those three ayat. And those ayat explain to us the type of sabr that is needed for every occasion and every circumstance. O you who believe, seek help. Ista'inu bis-sabr. Seek help through patience. Was-salah, and also salah, prayers. You need Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You can't, as a mu'min, survive without Him. And first, Allah said, Ista'inu bis-sabr, and then prayers. Because we know how difficult it is. It's very difficult. We are impatient people. We are hyper people. It's just how we are. We are created in haste. خُلِقَ الْإِنسَانُ عَجُولًا. So, one of the best qualities of a true believer is that you find him to be patient in all circumstances. And I'll share the hadith with you, inshallah. So Allah said, when you are in difficulties, you need to seek help through patience. Be patient, and through prayers. وَلَا تَقُولُوا لِمَنْ يُقْتَلْ فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ أَمْوَاتٍ. Don't think and say that those who die in the path of Allah, that they are dead. No, they are not dead. Allah told us in many places in the Qur'an that they are أحياء بل أحياء ولكن لا تشعرون. No, they are alive. The martyrs of Badr, the martyrs of Uhud, the martyrs of all the battles, they are alive today as they were when the day they supposedly gave up their lives to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They are enjoying the blessings of paradise, and they wish for their brothers and sisters who are living to join them in martyrdom so they can be enjoying paradise with them. And those are the ones who gave up their lives في سبيل الله لإعلاء كلمة الله, to make the word of Allah supreme. Those are the ones who die في سبيل الله. ولا تقولوا لمن يقتل في سبيل الله أموات. No, they are alive and they are enjoying, but they had to endure and they have to go through with patience. This is the last type of sabr, and that is the sabr in the face of the struggle in the cause of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But then the ayah after that, clearly Allah states and says, وَلَنَبْلُوَنَّكُمْ بِشَيْءٍ مِّنَ الْخَوْفِ وَالْجُوعِ وَنَقْصٍ مِّنَ الْأَمْوَالِ وَالْأَنفُسِ وَالثَّمَرَاتِ. Indeed, we are going to test you. وَلَنَبْلُوَنَّكُمْ وَلَنَبْلُوَنَّكُمْ. Maximum emphasis that we will surely, definitely test you. بِشَيْءٍ مِّنَ الْخَوْفِ, with fear. Yes, you will have to go through a period, a phase in your life where you will encounter fear. Just like most Muslims are living in fear today. Because we failed miserably to uphold the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yes. Otherwise, وَلَا تَهِنُوا وَلَا تَحْزَنُوا. We should not be in this condition. But this is the trial. And Allah promised that. وَلَنَبْلُوَنَّكُمْ بِشَيْءٍ مِّنَ الْخَوْفِ. Not only fear, also hunger. You will go through how many Syrian families, among Yemenis families, among Iraqi families, among Burmese families, among, all types of people for that matter, are sleeping hungry, hardly having 1 square meal a day. Muslims, how many Muslims around the world are going through this state of hunger. We have here Ramadan fight for hunger, collecting cans and food for those who are hungry. It's ibtila. Sabr ala al-ibtila. It is a trial from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What are you going to do? Rebel against Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or are you going to endure it and be patient? And there's always wisdom and reason behind each and every trial Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tries us with. وَلَنَبْلُوَنَّكُمْ بِشَيْءٍ مِّنَ الْخَوْفِ وَالْجُوعِ وَنَقْصٍ مِّنَ الْأَمْوَالِ. Shortage of wealth. MashaAllah, you're doing well, you make a lot of money, all of a sudden you lose your job, you lose the income you used to get. What are you going to do? You had a company, you went bankrupt. General Motors, the number one company in the world a few years back, actually they filed for bankruptcy. Can you imagine? Allah gives and takes, and He can take at any time. And we as believers should be ready for that. Yes, I may be blessed today with all the wealth I have, but I have to be ready. If He so willed, He can take it. What am I going to do? Cry about it? Rebel against Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? No, I understand and know that this is trial from Allah, and I have to endure it, and I have to ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make it easy on me, so I don't have to commit haram, so I don't have to do anything that is unpleasant to my Lord. Patience. وَلَنَبْلُوَنَّكُمْ بِشَيْءٍ مِّنَ الْخَوْفِ وَالْجُوعِ وَنَقْصٍ مِّنَ الْأَمْوَالِ وَالْأَنفُسِ. And also, ailments, diseases, death. Your spouse, your father, your son, your daughter. I lost a son at the age of 33 4 years ago. You think that was not painful? Of course. You raised your children to become, he was the thamara of my heart, as the hadith says, when Allah orders the angel to go and take thamarat fu'ad al-abd, the best of the children of the abd at a young age, to be tested by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the angel returns to Allah, and Allah will ask, what did my abd say? And the angel will say, he said, Alhamdulillah. He's patient. And then what does Allah say? Ubnu lahu baytan fil jannah wa sammuh bayt al-hamd. Build for him a house in paradise and call it the house of hamd, because he was patient, he endured. I pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give me that house, and give every parent who lost a child a house in paradise. Allahumma ameen. It's very painful, but you have to endure it. You have to accept the qadr of Allah. This is the qadr of Allah. This is the decree, and you have to accept it and be patient. Well, anfus could be diseases, ailments. What do? Your father, your mother reach the old age. They become invalid. They need to be bathed. They need to be taken care of. They need to be changed. What do? A test from Allah. You got to be patient. Patient. وَالْأَنفُسِ وَالثَّمَرَاتِ. And Allah will test you with also crops, fruits. Back then farming, the industry is very recent. The Industrial Revolution is only a couple hundred years old. But prior to that, what did people do? How did they survive? Through farming. And these ayat were revealed 1400 years ago. So people used to farm. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, I'm going to test you with your farm. Maybe one day I'm not going to give you any fruits. How are you going to react? Today it will translate bankruptcy, for example, your company or something. You have great business and all of a sudden, whoosh, gone completely. وَلَنَبْلُوَنَّكُمْ بِشَيْءٍ مِّنَ الْخَوْفِ وَالْجُوعِ وَنَقْصٍ مِّنَ الْأَمْوَالِ وَالْأَنفُسِ وَالثَّمَرَاتِ وَبَشِّرِ الصَّابِرِينَ. Give glad tidings to the patient ones. وَبَشِّرِ الصَّابِرِينَ. Give the good news to those who endure those inflictions, those calamities. الَّذِينَ إِذَا أَصَابَتْهُمْ مُصِيبَةٌ قَالُوا. Who are those patient ones? They are the ones when they are afflicted with some calamity, they say, إِنَّ لِلَّهِ وَإِنَّا إِلَيْهِ رَاجِعُونَ. قَالُوا إِنَّ لِلَّهِ وَإِنَّا إِلَيْهِ رَاجِعُونَ. We have this tradition where we say إِنَّ لِلَّهِ وَإِنَّا إِلَيْهِ رَاجِعُونَ at time of the announcement of someone who have died. Someone died, we say إِنَّ لِلَّهِ وَإِنَّا إِلَيْهِ رَاجِعُونَ. But no, you say that during any trial. Whatever trial you go through, you have to be patient and you say, Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. We belong to Allah and to Him we are returning. I recognize this test is coming from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and I pray that Allah help me endure this trial. I don't want to fall in sin. It's not easy, it's very difficult. وَبَشِّرِ الصَّابِرِينَ الَّذِينَ إِذَا أَصَابَتْهُمْ مُصِيبَةٌ قَالُوا إِنَّا لِلَّهِ وَإِنَّا إِلَيْهِ رَاجِعُونَ. Now, what is the reward of such believers who have this attitude, who are patient? أُولَٰئِكَ عَلَيْهِمْ صَلَوَاتٌ مِّن رَبِّهِمْ وَرَحْمَةٌ. Such people will have blessings pouring on them from the Lord. What type of blessings? Only Allah knows. The first blessing is that He enabled you to be patient through these difficulties. This is not easy. This is not for everyone. But other blessings as well. وَرَحْمَةٌ, mercy, compassion from Him. The rahmah will manifest itself on the day of judgment by admitting you to paradise, because success depends also on sabr, and Allah saw in you that you were patient and you deserved His rahmah, and He will show His mercy and rahmah to you on that grand day. Not only that, أُولَٰئِكَ عَلَيْهِمْ صَلَوَاتٌ مِّن رَبِّهِمْ وَرَحْمَةٌ وَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْمُهْتَدُونَ. And they are indeed the guided ones. They are the guided ones. So that's why a believer never complains. A believer is patient. A believer always praises and thanks Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for whatever he or she encounters in his or her own life. The Prophet said, and I'll leave you with this, regarding the true mu'min, عَجَبًا لِأَمْرِ الْمُؤْمِنِ إِنَّ أَمْرَهُ كُلُّهُ خَيْرٌ. إِنَّ أَمْرَهُ كُلُّهُ خَيْرٌ. How amazing are the affairs of the believer. All of his affairs are good. Everything he or she does is good. And he emphasized, وَلَيْسَ ذَلِكَ إِلَّا لِلْمُؤْمِنِ. And this is for none except for the believer. Because only the true believer understands the reality of things, understand the trials, understands his relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, understands Allah Himself. إِذَا أَصَابَتْهُ سَرَّاء شَكَرْ. When he is going through times of prosperity and happiness and joy, you find that believer grateful to Allah, thanking Allah. Oh Allah, thank you. I can't do it without you. Everything I have from you, and I recognize that. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Shakar. وَلَيْسَ ذَلِكَ إِلَّا لِلْمُؤْمِنِ. Only a true mu'min remembers Allah in good times. Not many people remember Allah in good times. Only the true believers. And they praise Allah and thank Allah for the ni'mah and the blessings that they have. وَإِنْ أَصَابَتْهُ ضَرَّاء. But when he or she is going through difficulties, adversities, bad times, you find him sabr, patient. وَلَيْسَ ذَلِكَ إِلَّا لِلْمُؤْمِنِ. And this quality is only for a true believer. You find him patient. He knows, he resigns to Allah and he says, Oh Allah, help me go through this difficult phase. They know that it's only a matter of time things will get better. Allah will make it better. They will endure. They are patient. فَإِنَّ مَعَ الْعُسْرِ يُسْرًا. They realize, they know, after every difficulty there is ease. They're certain about that because Allah emphasized and said, إِنَّ مَعَ الْعُسْرِ يُسْرًا. They comfort themselves by these ayat. And that's how they go through their difficulties with patience. Because their greatest hope is in Allah Azza wa Jal. Because He's the one who is in control. And eventually Allah will relieve them from whatever distress or difficulty they may have. And they will thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So sabr ala ta'a, sabr anil ma'asiyah, sabr ala al-bala'. Sabr to obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We have to be patient. Sabr to stay away from anything that is sinful. And sabr on bala', trials and tribulations that come from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And inshallah we'll continue with the sabr for the struggle in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Barakallahu li wa lakum fil Qur'an al-azim wa nafa'ni wa iyyakum bil ayati wa dhikr al-hakim. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk.